Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope you all will be fine. Here I am Mehwish Farooq, lecturer in botany from Department of Botany, University of Education, Lahore. The topic of our today discussion is the structure and development of megasporogenesis. From our core subject plant systematic, anatomy and development. The course code of this subject is BOTN 1112. The content of this lecture is: what is megaspore, what is megasporogenesis, megasporophyll or carpel structure, megasporangium and its structure, development of megasporangium, formation of megasporogenesis, and forms of ovule. What is megaspore? Megaspore are also called macrospores and are type of spores found in heterosporous plants. The heterosporous plants are those plants producing two different types of spores, the male microspore and a female megaspore. All seed-bearing plants as well as ferns and seedless plants are included in heterosporous plants. Megaspores, which germinates into a female gametophyte which produces egg cells. These are fertilized by the male gametophyte developing from the microspore. Generally speaking, the megaspore are a large spore which germinate into a female gametophyte that produces the egg cells. Megasporogenesis. Megasporogenesis is the process of formation of the megaspores. These megaspores are formed inside the ovule of seed plants. A diploid cell in the ovule called megasporocyte, megaspore mother cell or a megasporocyte cell undergoes meiosis and give rise to four haploid megaspores. In most plants, only one of the megaspore develops into megametophyte and other three disintegrate. Basically, during megasporogenesis, the megaspore mother cell, which is diploid, undergoes meiosis that produce four haploid cells or megaspores, in which one remains functional and other three degenerate. Megasporophyll or carpel structure. Carpel is also known as megasporophyll because the process of megasporogenesis occurs in this. Carpel. Carpel is the female reproductive part of a flower and it has a central position in the flower. A carpel is composed of three parts: ovary, style, and stigma. As you can see in the diagram, ovary is a basal border part of the carpel. Style forms a tube-like structure, and the stigma is the terminal part of the carpel, and it receives pollen grain. Carpel consists of a hollow basal swollen part that known as ovary. That carpel may be free, known as apocarpal, or may be fused, known as syncarpal. And one or more ovule or megasporangia are also produced in carpel. Megasporangium. or ovule and its structure. Ovule is also known as megasporangium because the megaspores are produced inside it. The structure in certain spore-bearing plants in which megaspores are formed is called female sporangia or megasporangium or ovule. Ovule consists of outer integument and inner nucellus tissue. Each ovule has short stalk called funicle, and the place of attachment of the funicle with the main body of the ovule is called hilum. Nucellus represents megasporangium, therefore ovule known as integument megasporangium. Basically, the body of ovule is filled with sporogenous tissue that known as nucellus. The nucellus is a part of the inner structure of ovule, which forming a diploid layer cell inside integument. It's structurally and functionally equal to the megasporangium. That's why it also known as integument megasporangium. Here is a diagram which represents the structure of ovule. Each ovule has a short stalk which called funicle. As you can see in the diagram, the place of attachment of the funicle with the main body of the ovule is called hilum. The funicle is attached to the basal part end of the ovule that called chylindra. Pollen tube enters through the micropyle. You can see the micropylate end and the chylindral end. Here is a nucellus. Nucellus is surrounded by one or two protective layers, outer integument and inner integument. These are protective layers which surround the nucellus. Ovule has an opening on side in the integument which called micropyle, and the junction of the nucellus and the integument is called chylindra. Nucellus represents megasporangium. That's why ovule is known as integument megasporangium. Development of megasporangium or ovule. The ovule develops from placenta of the ovary. Meiosis and megaspore formation occur within ovule. Therefore, ovule represent a megasporangium. Ovule consist of a stalk or funiculus. As I told you earlier, it bears the nucellus which surrounded by one or two integuments, the inner and outer integument. Here are the following steps which occur during the formation of ovule. The first step is periclinical division occur in layer of hypodermal cells. It forms ovule primordium. This primordium becomes conical structure with rounded tip. In second step, that tip of primordium form nucellus. The growth of nucellus is unequal. These various degrees of curvature are formed in main body of the ovule, which results in formation of different types or forms of ovule. And the third, integments arise as rim-like outgrowth from the basal cells of the nucellus. It surrounds nucellus completely except at tip of the ovule. Thus, inner tegments contain a tubular opening which called as micropyle. Here is a diagram of megasporangium. In this, you can see different parts of the megasporangium or ovule. The first is chalazo. Chalazo is a basal part end of the ovule. With this, funicle is attached. Nucellus, as I told you earlier, the ovule body is filled with sporogenous tissues which known as nucellus. Antipodal cells, these are three haploid cells situated at chalazo end opposite to the micropylar end. Actually, these are nutritive in function and nourish the embryo sac. Then two protective layers, outer integument and inner integument, which surrounds the nucellus. Then there is a micropylar end opposite to the chalazo end. On the other hand, there is a structure known as wrap. It is the part of the funiculus that is united to the ovule wall. Funiculus, it is a short stalk, and the hilum, it is the place of attachment of the funiculus to the main body. Development of megasporogenesis. Actually, it is a process of formation of the megaspores, which known as megasporogenesis. In this, a hypodermal cell of a nucellus becomes larger in size. It has more conspicuous nucleus and denser cytoplasm. In some cases, the enlarged cell acts as megaspore mother cell directly. However, in most cases, a hypodermal cell first divides by an unequal division, which forms two cells, the outer cell and a inner cell. The outer cell is called parietal cell and an inner cell is called primary sporogenous cell. The primary sporogenous cell functions directly as megaspore mother cell, while the parietal cell divides by anticlinical or periclinal division, which give rise wall cells. The megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis. Each nuclear division is accompanied by wall formation. It forms a linear row of four megaspores. The upper three megaspores nearest to the micropyle degenerate, while the lower surviving megaspore enlarge to form an 8-nucleate embryo sac or female gametophyte. Here is schematic diagram which represents the development of megasporogenesis. First, the one cell which enlarge in size in a micropylate end which is diploid differentiate into megaspore mother cell which is also diploid 2N. Then meiosis occur and a process of megasporogenesis occur in which 4 haploid megaspores formed. After this, 3 degenerate and a 1 megaspore remains functional, which formed embryo sac or female gametophyte, which is haploid. Here is another diagram of megasporogenesis development. Here is one megaspore mother cell in which division occurs, which divides into two cells, upper cell and an inner cell. After this, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 occur and 4 megaspores formed, in which 3 megaspores degenerate and 1 remains functional. That surviving functional megaspore formed embryo sac or female gametophyte. Forms of ovule. The ovule can be classified into following types on basis of relative position of the micropyle, chalaza, and funicle. These forms and types are autotropous or straight, anatropous or inverted, amphitropous or transverse, hemitropous, compylotropous or curved, and circinotropous. The first type or a form of ovule is autotropous or straight. As its name indicates, in this the ovule is erect or straight, thus the funicle, chalaza, and the micropyle all lie in one and the same vertical line. This type of ovule is found in the member of family Polygonaceae. The second form of ovule is anatropous or inverted. In this, the main body of the ovule bends along the funicle, thus the micropyle lies close to the hilum and the chalaza lies at the other end. The funicle fuses with the main body of the ovule and form a ridge, which is known as raphe. This is the most common type of ovule and it is found in almost all members of Symphylaria. It also occurs in other families of both dicots and monocots. The third form or a type of ovule is amphitropous or transverse. This is an intermediate type between autotropous and anatropous. In this, the ovule body is at right angle to its stalk or funicle. The fusion of integuments with funicle is very slight. Thus, the hilum, chalaza, and micropyle all lie apart from one another. This is very rare type and it is found in Primulaceae, Ranunculaceae and some members of Cruciferum. The fourth form of ovule is Hemitropous. In this, the body of the ovule is straight, but it is twisted transversely at right angles. Thus, the chalaza and the micropyle are in the same line. They are at right angles to the funicle. The chalaza and the micropyle both are at right angle to the funicle. Hemitropous ovule is common in ranunculus. Campylotropous or curved, the fifth form of ovule. In this, the body of the ovule is bent upon itself, just like a horseshoe. Thus, the micropyle comes to lie near the funicle. It is also rare and it is found in the members of family Leguminosae, Caryophyllaceae, Cruciferae, and Poaceae. The sixth and the last form of ovule is Caecinotropous. In this, the nucellus and the axis remain in the same line in the beginning, but rapid growth occurs on one side. Thus, due to rapid growth on the one side, the ovule gets inverted and this curvature remains continuous. Thus, the ovule turns completely. So once again, the micropyle face upwards. Caecinotropous ovule is found in lumbago and opuntia. In the last, here is the references of this lecture. Thank you.